1957, and then I came back to teach English, and I also taught an algebra class in the fall of 1957 after graduating from Mercer University. And I taught till 1964 with a break. Our first child was born in 1959. In those days, nobody pregnant could teach at Newnan High.
Oh, really?
So there was a year there when I didn't teach. And then after Winston was born, I came back and taught until Robert and Rhodes were born. And
Yes.
then after that, my husband went back to school at the University of Georgia, and we moved to Athens. But I enjoyed teaching at Newnan High.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you become a teacher at Newnan High School?
Well, I became a teacher. I just never expected to do anything else. When we played school, I taught. If my brothers and sisters didn't think I was the teacher then, they was trouble. And Newnan was the school that everybody in this area looked up to, expected great things from the students. It was a college prep school, a city school, in a time when academics were very strong here. And it's where I wanted to teach, and I was fortunate enough to be hired.
What was the most challenging aspect of your job?
I was teaching juniors, and academics was part of it. I studied much harder than my students, I think, the first year, just to try to be sure I had it all together by class time, because some of them were very bright and very eager. And then I guess beyond that, just the responsibility of 35, and I had 35 in nearly every class, times 5, and all the paperwork. We used to have book reports written, and a stack of those would take a whole weekend and sometimes to get graded, and the paperwork was a challenge.
What part of the job did you enjoy the most?
The interaction with the students, they were delightful, and I enjoyed teaching.
What do you think is the relationship between Newnan High School and the community, and how important is that relationship?
Newnan High is very important to the community. It's a focal point that all of us appreciate, that we expect still great things of all of you. And it's a school that gives back to the community. It's a joy to come downtown, because I see people still here, still practicing law, or working at the grocery, or at my doctor's office, or wherever, that we maybe knew each other first here.
In your opinion, what has always made NHS a special place to attend
Stewart,
school?
please report to the ninth grade office. Blake Stewart, please report to the ninth grade office.
I think the fact that the teachers are sincere about what they do, they're very well prepared and conscientious, do a good job, expect students to do likewise, and the vast majority do that.
Do you recall any historical events occurring that you heard about while in school?
Oh yes, I was standing in front of my desk teaching Little American poetry when Mr. Evans came over the intercom and announced President Kennedy has been shot. And then, of course, there were other announcements that followed. But that was the end of teaching American poetry for that day. Obviously, some of my students began to pray silently. Some put their heads down. Some wept. 2 or 3 cheered. It was a time when not everybody in Georgia was together on what was good for our nation. Yes, it's a time that I shall never forget.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, very good.